Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film, The Cabin in the Woods. It's kind of an interesting meta kind of twist on the typical like horror movie, haunted house, cabin in the woods basically kind of film. It has an interesting meta twist, and I'm gonna try to not blow like a lot of the secrets of it, because that's kind of part of the fun, is not really knowing really what's going on when you go in. So there will be a part where I'll say spoilers, and then, you know, if you haven't seen the film, don't watch any further. It's kind of more of an analysis thing. It kind of reminds me of the Scream films in terms of how it's kind of a meta take on horror, but it's very Joss Whedon. Drew Goddard, I think that's how you say his name. He helped write Cloverfield, but he was actually he directed a couple Buffy episodes. He directed an Angel episode. It definitely has a Buffy feel to it, you know, the way it's shot and edited and all put together. Yeah, you know what, maybe you shouldn't watch this review if you haven't seen the movie, because I kind of want to talk about all the stuff. So if you haven't seen The Cabin in the Woods, I guess don't watch any further, because I can't really talk about it all. So this is all spoilers, so if you don't want to have The Cabin in the Woods ruined for you, please stop watching. Although I appreciate you watching anyway. You know, in Buffy you have the Hellmouth, which is underneath a high school, and that's a comment on how high school is hell. And in this, when you have what's going on underneath, it's the comment on horror movies, is that, you know, that they have all these evil things going on, and there's like a reason for it. And it's kind of like a joke on how there's all these cliches and genre keeps going on and like doing the exact same thing over and over again, but acting like, you know, the government or, you know, society has been behind this the whole time. A lot of the takes on horror movies are just parodies, but this is kind of deconstructing it more. I think it's more of a satire than a parody. It's not like Tucker and Dale and Piranha 3D. I kind of like that a little bit more because it's a little more fun, but this is a lot more of an interesting kind of different take on horror, because I think horror gets a little boring within its genre, and it's hard to kind of stretch out, and sometimes we're so based on genre. I mean, I like how all the dialogue in this film was a lot of fun. I actually wanted to hear these kids speak, although sometimes it got a little Dawson Creeky, having those kids talk about books the way they did. He's definitely doing something with the genre in the beginning, but then it keeps deconstructing itself and deconstructing itself. I really like the idea with Bradley Whitford and Richard Jenkins, who are running kind of everything that's going on within the cabin. I think it's kind of funny, the juxtaposition between the two. At the end, I think it's kind of interesting because it talks about how, you know, you have to have these various archetypes, and, you know, in the film it's saying, or you'll unleash the Dark Lord, but I think about it how it's kind of commenting on horror and its use of genre, and how horror doesn't really evolve that much. I mean, there's nothing really that was in Silent House or The Woman in Black that wasn't in films that came out in the 60s and the 70s. I think what this film is saying, particularly at the end, is you know, you messed with the structure, you messed with the genre, and then because of that, if you mess with it, you know, the evil lord will come up and destroy the entire world. When Donna's given the choice to kill Marty, make everything do what it's supposed to do, what's supposed to happen, and the world will keep on going on. It's kind of like horror will keep on going on if you just keep going into this genre, but the fact that they kind of reject that in the end, she decides not to shoot him, kind of shows to me they deconstruct a horror movie so much. I mean, even though it's in a weird way, but they deconstruct it so much. Can you really go back after you've deconstructed and fully analyzed it? And I feel like it's almost commenting on how self-aware horror movies were in the 90s, and can we really go back to having a Paranormal Activity after that? And it made me think about that, and I kind of think horror relies so heavily on genre. Is it a little odd to go back now that we went so far with Scream? And I kind of think that's an interesting way to take it. I feel like it's saying the genre in a way can't evolve anymore. It's it's almost dead, which I don't really like. I feel like someone could come along and make a new creative film, but how many Halloween ripoffs have there been? How many Paranormal Activity ripoffs are there going to be? And Paranormal Activity, which is influenced by Blair Witch, which is influenced by Cannibal Holocaust, it's easier to go within that genre. It was easier to not have the Dark Lord come up and destroy the entire world. Maybe what he's saying with this, and having Dark Lord just say everything's destroyed now because I'm back, because you didn't make the sacrifice, because you didn't adhere to the genre. Can we really go anywhere? Have we deconstructed it too far? So it's an interesting ending on kind of this weird meta level. I really do like it, and I think it's probably the best horror movie I've seen this year. This is a movie that it's so funny and referential and kind of sarcastic, but at the same time very deep. For the horror genre, I think it's really probably one of the more interesting horror movies I've seen in a long time. I like watching kind of a cool meta deconstruction horror movie So if you have seen The Cabin in the Woods and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments, and subscribe if you would like to.